First of all, welcome to the channel and thank you for stopping by. After a year of leaked media and information, KTM and Bajaj have finally unveiled the successor to the very popular KTM 390 Adventure. While they announced four bikes and showed three at EICMA, we're going to focus on what I believe is the closest successor to the existing model, which is the KTM 390 Adventure R. Unfortunately, KTM showcased the bike with many power part options already installed, leaving us without a very clear look of what the base model will be. While what they did show was very impressive, the seat, auxiliary lights, skid plate, crash bars, and the acro exhaust are not expected to be on the final bike when it does hit showroom floors. Looking at the 390 Adventure R, it appears that the design doc given to the engineering team was essentially make the bike more off road capable. Gone is the 1917 wheel combo that gave the original 390 both decent on road and off road handling, replaced with the ever popular 2118 wheel set that will give owners a few more tire options and help the 0.01% of people who will be taking this bike over fallen trees. The new wheels are tubed spoked, somewhat of a surprise as KTM has been producing tubeless spoked wheels in this size since 2019. I did see one outlet reporting that the tubed wheels will be offered later as a Power Parts catalog offering. So perhaps CF Moto will be producing tubeless wheels as they do for the 790 and 890 platform. With competitors in this space such as CF Moto and Royal Enfield offering tubeless spoked wheels, customers will be expecting them. KTM tubeless wheels, however, use an inside spoke with a rubber seal, which is not an ideal solution. Anyone who owns a 790 or 890 can tell you they leak a lot, but it's certainly better than having tubes when you're on a long adventure. For those wanting outside spoked wheels, which are far more common these days, VMX, who produces wheels for the original 390 Adventure, also produces them for the 790 and 890 platform, and I expect we'll have them available for the 390 Adventure R well before the North American launch. The original 390 Adventure shipped with WP Apex suspension, which, while it offered superior adjustability compared to Japanese manufacturers, did require replacement to allow North American sized riders to take the bike on more challenging terrain. Outlets are reporting that the 390 Adventure R will also ship with Apex suspension. However, the model showed at EICMA had the reportedly optional WP Explorer suspension. It seems unlikely to me that KTM would sell an R Class bike with Apex suspension, as they've always previously included the Explorer Pro on R models. Regardless of the model of suspension the bike arrives with, it will have significantly increased travel at 230 millimeters. This is going to be comparable with bikes such as the Touareg 660 and the Yamaha Tenere 700, and that places it well above the 200 millimeters that come on the CF Moto 450 and the Royal Enfield 450. Unfortunately, the price we will be paying for the more off road wheel size and suspension travel is seat height. Coming in at 885 millimeters, the 390 Adventure R is going to be a very tall bike. Off road tall bikes are almost a non issue. Almost everyone learns to put one foot down when riding off road. However, few are accustomed to a bike this tall on the street, where stopping is much more frequent and the roads can be off camber. I certainly do not want to be stuck in stop and go traffic on an 885 millimeter seat. If I was guessing what may cause potential buyers to walk away from a 390 Adventure R after they see them on the showroom floor, it would be the seat height. Seriously, this bike is going to be a shock for anyone who has never been on a dual sport, and it's actually taller than a lot of dual sports. The KTM 390 Adventure R is also receiving a few electronic upgrades, including new stacked headlights, a new TFT screen inherited from the 2024 Duke 390, and a new rain riding mode. And seen for the first time in small adventure bikes, we're getting cruise control. I do hope other manufacturers follow KTM on this decision, as cruise control really is a quality of life improvement for adventure bike riders, and not all bikes have aftermarket options. Looking at UCF Moto. Unfortunately, KTM did not give us the two most important pieces of information we wanted at EICMA. How much will the 390 Adventure R cost, and when will it arrive? The only confirmed release that I found reported was Q1 in India. Now, the bike is produced in India and they deserve to be first to market. However, it is a massive mistake to not announce pricing and release for the North American market. The Royal Enfield 450 is already on the showroom floors today, and the CF Moto 450 should be available by the end of the year. And the market is very different than it was when the 390 Adventure was released in 2020. At that time, the market between 325-pound dual sports and 450-pound adventure bikes was wide open. Riders were waiting for a well spec'd small adventure bike, and KTM was the first to bring one to market. And for 3.5 years, nobody even had a bike to compete. However, today the competition has their bike on the showroom floors, coming soon, or they're preparing 450 class bikes that very well could arrive before the release of the 390R. Rumor is that North America will get the bike as a 2026 model a full year from now. And I have to wonder, who is the executive that made that decision? Were they considering how crowded the bike market will be in the fall of 2025? And how many riders will have already spent their money with Royal Enfield, CF Moto, or others? I put up a poll recently on the largest 390 Adventure Facebook group and asked, would you be interested in buying a 390 Adventure R, a 390 Enduro R, a 390 SMCR, or will you be staying with the current 390 Adventure model? 73% were interested in a 390 Adventure R, 11% were interested in an Enduro R, 6% were interested in the SMCR, and 8% plan on keeping their 390 Adventure for the foreseeable future. KTM, when 92% of your customers are looking to upgrade and 73% of them are looking for an adventure bike, and you will not have one for a full year, well, I expect we will not see all of those riders waiting for KTM to have a product on showroom floors. You may want to check to see if the decision maker owns any CF Moto stock. Let's not end on a down note. As I mentioned earlier, the KTM 390 Adventure R is a near perfect example of KTM listening to their customers. As long as we take the seat height out of the equation, it's a superior bike in nearly every way, and it's not a bad bike to look at either. The bike is using a modified version of the decade old LC4 engine, which is honestly the most reliable engine available in any KTM today, and it's comparable in power to the competition's much heavier 450 class bikes. KTM is continuing to offer advanced features such as multiple rider modes, lean sensitive ABS and traction control, and those are still not available on more expensive adventure bikes. And now the KTM 390 Adventure is adding cruise control to the small ADV market, when most manufacturers do not include that on their mid sized offerings. Now, I have some concerns, and it's not a perfect bike, but I think it's a worthy replacement to the 390 Adventure. And I can assure you that unless Aprilia releases the rumored Touareg 457 before the 390 Adventure R, I will be purchasing one as soon as KTM is willing to take my money. Well, if you stuck around till the end, I appreciate it and take care.